know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bass. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size.
Okay, confession, I actually did do that at a karaoke party we had at Modcloth recently, along with our creative director, so. I didn't pick the song. It turns out, I guess, some of the AV folks did, and you picked the right song. So thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Cool. So karaoke parties. Modcloth sounds like a fun place to work.
It's a fun place to work. We work hard, like anyone in online retail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about sort of the journey at Modcloth. Kind of, it's got a very distinctive voice online.
Yes.
When you go to Modcloth, you know you're at modcloth.com. Like, just kind of, what was it like developing that voice and developing that experience?
So, Modcloth was started back in 2002. Eric and Susan Koger started this when they were 18 years old out of their Carnegie Mellon dorm room. And Susan Koger, the brand is fundamentally based on a real, like, relentless focus on the consumer, on the customer, and understanding that customer. And she cares deeply. And so the organization that was built, and you can see it evidenced in every touch point, from the product experience to mobile to features that we develop to the creative to something as simple as a bounce back coupon that's offered in a package. Nothing is done at a good enough level. Everything we strive for is at a remarkable and a delightful level. And the reason fundamentally is, I think, that yes, we have, we've created the right processes and the structures and the tools and invested because we think it's important, because retail is about art and science. There's a lot of science in the data and an understanding that you have of your customer. And there is the art of delighting her. And so the voice is fundamentally based on the inherent belief around Modcloth, which is that we're here to help young women find amazing clothing and to help define themselves. So we have remarkable product that you can't find anywhere else, a huge breadth, over 7,000 styles. And we bring on new product every day because new is what's really, really delightful. And you'll notice that in everything that we do, we're really asking the customer for her point of view. So we're here as almost like a platform for our community to connect and to engage. And so that friendliness, that authenticity, that sort of humility about the brand comes through in everything that we do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the Modcloth voice. And something as simple as going to the site and taking a look at who's featured in our homepage stories. Very often, you'll flip through a fashion magazine and you won't see women that necessarily represent yourself. You see a lot of women that are rather sort of unattainable. But at Modcloth, we are very inclusive about our community. So you'll come to that homepage experience. You'll see something delightful and witty, typically, and we've got a great copywriting team. And you're going to see women featured in it that reflect women of all sizes. 50% of women wear greater than a size 14. That's the reality of where we are. I mean, that's, so we've got a merchandise selection that offers clothing for women of all sizes. Our exclusive Modcloth label offers great designs for women of all sizes. And you're going to see those people in our photography and in all of our marketing. Our community is invited in to actually help to represent the brand. We don't do a lot of retouching. We do some things if you've got a big tattoo or if there's something, a blemish on your face. But otherwise, women really appreciate, especially if you're talking about swimwear, where you're not retouching. You're actually showing the wrinkles and the creases and some of the issues with the product, perhaps based on that body type. It gives you a more realistic idea of what that product experience is going to be like. So all of this, I think the consistent thing is about just like doing the right thing for the customer. Really, really caring and doing the nth level that you can to be sure that product experience is great.
One of my favorite things, and I think most people who shop at Modcloth, one of their favorite things, is the comment section. It's a delight. It's so much fun to read it because, again, like you said, it's very real. But one of the interesting things I found about them is, like, a lot of times you'll have something like Mod Rachel respond to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, how, what is that like? I mean, because there is this sort of fear that we have to respond to everything on social. I mean, when we were talking to Ryan from Alexiani, he kind of touched on that earlier because he's like, we have to respond to everything. Retailers especially get a lot of messages on social media. They get a lot of comments. And that, let's make sure we address every problem. Let's make sure we address every concern. but at the same time, keep it fun, keep it exciting. How do you balance those two things?
We try to answer all questions and comments and respond. We do. We can't do everything, but we try with the staffing that we've got. And we are actually relatively well staffed in terms of responding on social. And I think the area that you're referring to is the reviews. So we have amazing reviews, and so we actually have people that are in there responding. I think that it's again fundamentally a part of understanding or communicating to consumers that you actually care and that you listen, and making it obvious that you're doing that. So having that friendly, authentic response that answers the question, that doesn't try to make excuses, and that's honest, has remarkable resonance with consumers, and that has paid off in spades. One example I'll give is Net Promoter Score. That's a way of kind of measuring like the level of recommendation that your consumers will give you. And the net sum of all the experiences that a consumer has, the product experience, the actual product, getting it, purchasing it, the aftercare, has resulted in a Net Promoter Score that we measured on a quarterly basis. It's between 68 to 72. This is the highest Net Promoter Score business I've ever worked on. And that's because of the work that I talked about earlier. So I think that something as what might be perceived as small as responding to a comment on a review and letting people know that you care. And also, of course, like other consumers that are coming to the site to actually purchase that particular product, they read the reviews and they see that you've actually responded. And I'll tell you, our buyers are definitely like culling those reviews, and they understand how they're doing in terms of their product and what consumer feedback is, not only from like a measurement perspective, but in terms of the review and the qualitative information you get from that. So we love those reviews. It's a great thing for our business, and it's a great thing for consumers. It improves conversion. It gives us a lot of insight into issues or likes that consumers have with that. And it really allows us to build that community and build that emotional connection to the brand that is very, very difficult to do in an online-only retail environment. There are very, very few online-only retail brands that have the kind of connection that we have, where women, when you ask them, if they know Modcloth, if you ask them like, hey, do you know Modcloth? The first thing they'll say is, I love Modcloth. Then they'll say, oh, and it also has like great stuff I can't find anywhere else, and it's at a great price, et cetera. So the emotional comes out first, and that emotional pays out in spades, like I said, Net Promoter Score, which means your cost of acquisition is lower. So large business benefits that are associated with it.
What do you do with the people who don't know Modcloth? Sort of how are you getting to them?
Yeah, multifaceted approach. So we do benefit from tremendous word of mouth, which is, like I said, it translates into an LTV to CPA ratio. I think most healthy companies are looking for a 3-to-1, and we're better than that, which is great. So we get a lot of direct traffic. We do get a lot of referrals. We're very, very good at social. So we're engaging them as a lifestyle brand, not only sort of like talking to them about our product, but also engaging with them in a way that that is based on understanding who they are and what they're interested in. So everything from cooking to DIY to crafts. Our girl is constantly interested in sort of learning and doing things and expanding her mind and her understanding of the world. And she loves being associated with us because we also understand that, and we communicate that in our social and on our site and in our blog. And she also understands that we're a values-based brand. And I think many of you know that millennials in particular, at least based on the data, are very, very interested in being associated with brands and participating with brands that actually show and demonstrate that they have strong inherent values. And the fact that we embrace the community, that we have product and show women of all sizes, and we embrace and don't believe in kind of dictating what's right in terms of fashion. We really believe that everyone has their own unique beauty, and we're here to help you find that unique beauty in fashion that's going to make you feel great on Modcloth.
When you're talking about sort of online retail, being an online-only company, are there any cues that you've kind of taken or just things that you've noticed from brick-and-mortar retailers that you kind of apply online through that journey?
Let's see. So I think one of them is, the voice that you were talking about. Yeah. The other thing is the inclusion of the community. So imagine when you come into like an offline retail experience, you've got a sales associate that is going to be friendly, that's going to help you, that's going to offer to help you. we have, in addition to the reviews that we've got there, we also bring in our community through something that we call Style Gallery. So there's an outfit photos section where women can upload products or pictures of themselves in products that they purchased on Modcloth, but styled their own unique way. So when you go to a PDP page, actually, why don't I share one?
It's over there. Oh,
Oh.
you have to go back.
All right. Okay, so when you go to a PDP page, this is one of our PDP pages, you get not only a shot of great product, but you can see that there's a couple hundred reviews on there. I can't see from here. You've got a delightful name, not just 3/4 length, haltered, polka dotted dress.
How do you come up with those names, actually?
Traveling cupcake truck dress in black. I mean, that's something that's going to make you smile, right? So in an online-only environment, you do everything that you can. You work it to be sure that you're delighting people. And then the Style Gallery photos that I mentioned. So those are pictures, the 4 that are on the bottom right, are from our own community. So they took photos of themselves in the product, styled it uniquely, and uploaded those to the site. And we get close to 1,000 a month, and we get about 700 reviews a day. So that's the kind of level of engagement that we have with our customer, which I think is pretty remarkable.
Can I ask, how do you, so say, you obviously know someone's bought this product. Do you send them an email and be like, hey, why don't you upload a picture? How do you get them to kind of complete that cycle?
So there is a call to action in our emails. There is one, and we also ask for reviews. So about a week after you purchase something, you'll get an email that will ask about, hey, we'd love to hear your feedback on the product that you just purchased. And we promote Style Gallery not only on our homepage to drive awareness of it, but we also drive it in our email communication and in social.
Do you provide an incentive?
No, there's not an incentive.
No sort of 10% off if you.
No, there's no price
purchase.
incentive. It's really around recognition. It's really around recognition. I think there's probably more we could do there, but the recognition for many is quite huge. Yeah.
What about kind of email marketing? I know you guys always send out fun emails, fun creative, sort of more. It's coming back to what Tristan said yesterday. The people that don't necessarily buy your product, but we can still get them to have fun. We can still get them to enjoy reading an email from us, even if they don't go and actually buy the product.
Yeah, I mean, email marketing for us is extremely important. It drives a significant portion of our sales, and as does social. So one of the things that you'll notice, through these features, Style Gallery, a number of other things that we've got on our site, we actually think in our blog and social, it's okay if someone comes to the site and doesn't purchase. If they engage and they have fun, if they open our app, and we've got love it or leave it, so it's sort of a fun kind of Tinder-like experience where you can love or leave certain all of our clothing, and we use that data actually to then remarket. So for instance, if you love something and it goes on sale, we send you a note and we say, hey, look, this product that you loved is now on sale. Great, and those things convert at a much higher rate. So we've got, so our email communication as most folks have, we've got a whole slew of sort of transactional emails. We've got regular sort of brand building and promotional emails. And because of the voice that we have, because of the great creative, because of the great product, because of the new styles, because of how we're using our recommendations engine to show relevant product to folks, and how the transactional emails are triggered, we benefit from above retail average kind of open rates, click-through rates, click-to-open rates. So critical part of our overall communication for sure.
And I'm curious about sort of getting people to come back. I mean, it's going to be any retailer. You've got people who are going to try it once. You've got people who are going to try it twice. How do you make them repeat loyal? How do you create that loyalty? Other than obviously the things we've talked about, which is, give them a great product and ways to do it. Anything else you guys do just to make it more fun?
Yeah, I think that when you think about this overall experience, the care that goes into every little detail, so 24/7 customer service, fun names, Style Gallery, where you can be inspired by other women in the community who are styling their product. All of those things have built a differentiated experience that our customer absolutely loves. So she's coming back to get entertained. So there's fundamental product value that is on all of our experiences. Social, PR, online advertising, All of those things then sort of surround our customer. We know where she is. We know where she's like living and working. And they are, depending on the level of engagement with the customer, sort of like more lightweight ways of kind of keeping us top of mind. And so we do benefit quite a bit from having consumers that are coming back pretty frequently. And they're coming back to browse, to enjoy. We've got new styles that are launched every day, so there's always new product for them to look at. There's something new and different and interesting on Modcloth.
Do you guys do a lot of content, articles, that kind of thing?
There is not so much, I think, on the product experience. Right. Within the blog, we've got some content. Certainly in social, there's content. The content that I think that is most beneficial that consumers are really enjoying is the style gallery, which gets placement both within the product and in its own section, as well as the reviews. You know, that's the kind of, it's UGC that we're leveraging as opposed to creating it on our own.
We talked quite a bit about mobile yesterday, and you know, a lot of people try to figure it out. A lot of people sort of figuring out how. What percentage of your customers sort of come from mobile? How many of them buy the stuff from mobile? Is there some interesting things you've seen from that?
Yeah. So let's see. We've got over, as most people do, like over 50% of our traffic that's coming in through mobile, and about 25 to 30% of our sales in mobile. So mobile is critical. The shift to mobile continues, and for us, what we're trying to do, we've got a mobile web experience that is actually specifically developed for the mobile web. We have an app that has actual differentiated features. So what we try to do also is add particular value that you don't get elsewhere because you have our mobile app. Anything from an exclusive first look at product to first entry into a promotion that's coming up those are probably the two sort of primary things, in addition to like exclusive offers and things like that happen.
What have you found between the difference between people coming in from the mobile web or app? Because that's sort of a constant thing we hear from people about as well.
So for the mobile web, we see that there's a higher preponderance of new visitors, new visits, people that are perhaps searching for something online and then coming across us. And then, of course, it would make intuitive sense that the people that are using your app do tend to be people that are your most loyal customers that are very, very engaged.
Cool. Awesome. Great. I know that you're going to stick around for a little bit of a breakout session later, so we'll leave the questions for that. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was great.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Shareen.